If you're launching your store for the very first time, ads can be a bit jarring, and a lot of people show their wins, their successes. What I'm about to show you in this video is a store I really struggled to get off its feet, but we still managed to get it off its feet to a couple $100,000 in revenue. Not a lot, but it's enough to get you proof of concept, build you cash flow so that you're able to go on to the next project. This store, we started off as a dropshipping store. We built the cash flow, got proof of concept, made it into a private label store, got custom creatives and all that stuff, and then sold out inventory, went on to the next project. Just because this store, the product itself, it's not really I would say a product that you can scale. The product itself isn't compelling. That means that when you're creating your creatives and your offers, there's not gonna be much substance to it. It's going to be hard to make it compelling and really get a sale. The lesson in that is your product actually matters. So the very first thing I have to show you guys is the results, how much we spent on this store. So I'm in my ad account right now and I pressed the wrong button. So had delivery, just so you guys can see everything, $72,000 spent on this store. First things first, we need to go over the ad strategy I used to launch this store. So the ad strategy is quite simple, and you've probably seen me talk about this before. And I'll show you guys in the ad account after what it looks like, the numbers and everything. But basically we have one campaign and one ad set. So, and then multiple creatives, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each one of these creatives is a different angle and a different message. And I'm looking for the message that has the highest return on ad spend, or the highest or the best ad metrics, and that kind of gives me a sense of, hey, this may be the thing that works. And obviously when you're running this test, you're probably not going to be profitable, but if you're profitable, then that's great. So because we're probably not going to be profitable, we're just looking for signs of life, I'm not spending that much money on this ad set. Like, I'm spending literally $20 to $30 a day. And that's something you have to understand when you're in the testing phase, is when you're testing, you're probably not going to be profitable, but you are looking for profitability. Usually when people are testing, they don't really understand this process, so they're going to be running in circles over and over and jumping from product to product, and they really don't get any key insights that allow them to test, or they don't really get any key insights that allow their next test to be even more effective, efficient, and just give them a higher chance of success with their next test. So this is what we're doing when we're media buying, is we're testing for the winning angle, the winning message initially. And before we even do this test, we're doing research. We're performing this test, we're seeing what the winners are. For this store, I did actually find that one of the ads was super profitable, and Facebook is smart. They're gonna allocate the spend accordingly to whatever they think is going to get you the lowest cost. Another way of doing this test is just having an ad set for each angle. For me, just doing this really quickly, I just threw it all in one ad set with an interest. The interest that I used was just literally skincare, 20 to 45. That's literally it. Again, I always mention this, the ad strategy is not the thing that's going to make this break it or make you super profitable and make this into a winner. It's what you're doing is you're finding out, hey, what's working, what has signs of life, and then you're honing in on that and you're reiterating that, optimizing that. That's how you get things to scale. So now that I have the angle that's working, you can do multiple things from here. What I did for this store is I had a CBO campaign. I created a new one, and I have multiple ad sets now, 4 ad sets, different interests. So I'm gonna be testing cosmetics, beauty, natural skincare, just a bunch of audiences that is related, and you're keeping this simple. You're literally using just the audience suggestion tool. Next thing, I'm taking the winning creatives from this testing campaign and I'm throwing it into these audiences to test. So now I find one winning audience. So now I have 2 winning audiences and 2 winning ads. That's what I did for this store. And at this point, I'm not that profitable right now, and you're gonna see soon. This is where a lot of dropshippers mess up and they wonder why they're unable to scale, and they're like, how do I scale my ad sets, my interests and stuff? Now, we kind of go back to the drawing board again. Now that we kind of know what has signs of life, now we hone in on that. We do a bit more research. We go back to the drawing board and we repeat this test. So we know that these two ads work really well and the message in there works really well. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim out all the noise. We're gonna see, hey, what about this ad is working? What's the message in this ad? Can I get this to work even better? So what I would do is, like, for now, I would just cut these really shitty ad sets, these shitty ad sets as well, and let these run for a bit, gather data, see what over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, what the metrics look like, and establish some KPIs here. And you may be break even, you may be slightly profitable, you may be unprofitable. Let's say I spend like $1,000 on this whole test and I'm down like just $200. Okay, not bad. You still have $800 to work with. We're not expecting to be profitable in this testing phase anyways. I mean, you're down 20%. Not bad, but when you're down 20%, 30%, 40%, you have to really evaluate, hey, is it like, and it's kind of hard to tell you guys in this video without kind of seeing what you guys are doing, but it could be your creative, it could be your product, it could be so much things, it could be your product page. Really depends at what level you're at right now. If you're a more experienced advertiser, more experienced marketer, it's probably your product. If you're starting out and learning everything for the first time, it's probably everything, you're probably doing everything wrong. And the last thing you want to be looking at is the ad strategy. So now what this new test will look like is it's going to be exactly the same as this test initially. So one CBO campaign, you can even stack these two audiences now. The winning audiences, and now you're gonna test more variations of these ads and the message. See, hey, now that you have KPIs to look at and refer back to, is anything performing any better? And you're gonna keep doing this until you find something that's super profitable. And then when you find winners, you wanna let them run over time. And then if you really are confident, you can try scaling, and scaling is quite simple. You can dupe these campaigns. You can literally dupe this testing campaign, just trim out everything that's not working and increase the budget. See how it performs on a higher budget. If it doesn't perform too well, again, back to the drawing board, reiterating your creative, your message, your offer. And again, with this store, it was hard to scale. The product wasn't compelling, so no matter how, that means that the creatives that you create, it's gonna be really hard to find something that works. We're gonna have to do more testing, just because the product itself isn't too great. So I'm gonna be limited by the scale. I have more things to fight against. And again, like, that's the importance of choosing a product that sells itself. So when people talk about winning products, this is what we're looking for, products that sell itself. Sometimes people will just randomly test and you find a product that sells itself. And really, the reason why people can't scale is they're not doing this, right? But let's say you do find a winning product from spam testing or traditional way of dropshipping, is you want to build a cash flow, then you want to analyze, hey, what's working? Then you get the custom creatives to reinforce that message. Sometimes people jump into custom creatives, and the big mistake there is that you're not necessarily, like, it's not the thing that's gonna make you more profitable. It's the thing that's gonna help you get the message across better. Custom creatives is a creative strategy. It's not a strategy to hone in on the offer, the message, the angle. If your dropshipping clips aren't working, custom creatives may not work too well unless getting custom creatives allows you to get that message out better. Once we have something that works well and we have some winning angles, you guys can also throw up your retargeting campaigns and stuff. But in this video, I'm not really talking about like how to set up your ad strategy and how to test and stuff. I'm talking about just the underlying fundamental process that goes into testing and then getting to scale. Getting to scale is really just back and forth testing and figuring out, hey, what's wrong with my offer? What's wrong with my message? How can I improve my ads? How can I get my AOV as high as possible while getting my ad metrics, ad costs as low as possible? And also, how can I position my offer and message so that it appeals to the broad amount of people, to a wide range of people. And that's what we're basically doing. We're trying to get, just to summarize again in case that was a bit confusing, how do I get my average order value as high as possible? How do I get my conversion rate as high as possible? Which, to get your conversion rate as high as possible, how do I make my offer juicy? How do I make it appeal to a wide range of people? How do I get my ad costs? And just doing that will get your ad costs a bit lower. What in my ad? How do I improve my creative? That's what I'm thinking, okay? We're doing that back and forth until we get something where we're doing a bit of testing. Okay, so once we find things that work, we're letting it run for a bit, seeing if it can handle time and money and spend. And if it can, we're just duping it, increasing budget, testing more audiences. And then eventually, once we hone in on the message, again, we're making it appeal to a wide range of people. That's how you get the scale. Then we can really, and we gather data and spend more. We're able to target fully broad after that. This is how we get to fully broad targeting. And getting to fully broad really stems from doing all this tests right here, honing in an offer and the messaging. The product will limit the type of messaging, the substance of the messaging, how compelling it will be. And some products, you might not be able to create compelling offers and messages around, so you might never be able to get to broad targeting, but maybe you can maintain it on just interest targeting and lookalike audiences. Then that may limit your scale. So just understand that hey, my business can't scale to $1 million per month. It's really fucking hard to do that. So now this is where, as a marketer, where you're like, okay, is there any other channels I can expand to that works better for selling my product? Maybe I can only get to 100K a month and that's my cap, and I really have to work hard in order to get 200K a month. Really, that's your job as a marketer, right? To figure that out. So to show you guys the actual ad account and the results of that, you can see here I was running this campaign for with $30 a day, and I ran this for about quite a bit. Obviously unprofitable here, or about break even actually, because the break even ROAS of this product store was 1.33. But I'll show you guys at the ad level here. You guys can see we had this angle right here that had signs of that was profitable. These other ads had add to carts and checkout initiated, but no conversions. They're unprofitable. This ad though had really cheap clicks and a decent CTR. This one not as cheap, actually twice as expensive almost, but it was profitable. So these are two ads I want to look at that I may want to test and hone in on, and that's what we basically did. Obviously, like, this ad was profitable, not too much. I'm not expecting to be too profitable since I'm just in a testing phase, but now I kind of know what's working. I tested about 7 different angles and ads. Then I tested interest with those ads in a CBO campaign. You can see here, cosmetics converted really great. And here we are, 2.29 ROAS, 2.88 ROAS. And then we're letting this run and seeing what the data is over time. And then we just keep doing this process over and over. And then through this process, we're gonna find things that work. When it comes to the ads and stuff, it's quite easy. So hopefully the first initial chunk, the middle chunk of this video was super insightful for you guys to understand how to run Facebook ads and just advertise in general. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, comment, subscribe if you like these kind of videos. I post these videos every Tuesday. And if you do want me to look at your ad accounts and everything and work with you, link is in the description to book a free strategy session with me. Just a little plug for myself. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week.